go back to bombs and chill. It actually works.
That sounds like terrorism.
Yeah, when terrorists fucking text each other.
Yeah.
Hey, you want bombs and chill? Anyway.
Oh my god, that's really sad.
Yeah, that was not a good joke. Anyway.
That was very poor taste.
Not really. It's not like I was referencing a certain event or anything.
Yes.
See, I maxed out my fucking rupees.
Yeah.
That's why you want to have as few as possible, because then you get more.
Anyway.
More money for you. So yeah, the next. I know like what the big matches are. I'm trying to remember if I forgot any of the small ones. I think I have, but.
The Rock is probably going to show up.
Oh yeah, he always shows up. In some capacity, he always shows up.
I remember, and actually, I think this was at my first WrestleMania.
Yeah, he was there.
At WrestleMania 51, yeah.
Him and Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
That's a really cool
It was like my favorite part of the whole fucking night.
See,
the only part that I remember.
Yeah, that makes sense because it was two people you recognized.
Well, I didn't recognize Ronda Rousey. I recognized The Rock.
Well, see, needed to die, but like, but it was big. Everyone else was freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the room, but like everyone else who saw it, like all the fans were like, whoa.
Yeah.
But nothing ever came of it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yet at least.
I don't remember who they fought as a tag.
It was Triple H. Well, they didn't fight anybody. It was Triple H and Stephanie were like gloating about something, and then The Rock came out and interrupted them. Everyone was like, and then Stephanie fucking slapped the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't. The Rock wouldn't hit a woman, even though he's fucking hit her with the rock bottom before.
Yes.
But he's like, well, you know someone who will, and they bring the Ronda Rousey shit, like fucking jumps the barricade, and it's like a standoff, and they beat up Triple H and Stephanie. And it's great. But yeah, so.
Or maybe The Rock is gonna beat Triple H, which means
he's gotta beat the game in the middle of the ring. He's got a $2 trick for a wife. Good times. Anyway, so yeah, The Rock will show up definitely. Yeah. I guess I'll go into the one. I might be forgetting something. I'm pretty sure I'm not forgetting anything, but still. AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
Oh, that's
which
right.
People will not stop bitching about, and I understand why. People want AJ to have like a legit talented wrestler as an opponent.
Shane's
Shane is like, he's a non-wrestler in that like, yeah, he's not like a fully, like, he's not like a full-time wrestler like by any stretch.
Yeah.
But he's a guy who is pretty much willing to do whatever. Like, he's down to do pretty much whatever if it means like putting on a good show.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is something that people forget about and is, I think, very important to remember, because and AJ is like one of the best wrestlers in the world today.
Yeah.
So you put those two elements together, and fucking, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Because like, they can do something crazy.
Hopefully, Shane will jump off a tall.
Yeah, I mean,
again.
there's been all these pictures people have been leaking of the building the set of WrestleMania 33.
Yeah. I think it's at the Orange County Con Center.
Something like that, yeah.
And
everyone's
Star Wars Celebration is this year.
Oh, okay. And everyone's been saying like, I wonder which of these chains are gonna jump off of, and like it's a normal match, so like logically like it wouldn't be within the rules for him to like jump off anything because he wouldn't have time really before the count out, but like they'll find a way. Like, you can't have a Shane McMahon match and not have some crazy shit happen.
And not have him jump off the whole building
right.
because he wants Vince to love him.
And his dad. And AJ is like so talented, and like you put those two things together, and like that's magic right there. They can make some awesome moments together. So I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
See, I got that whole spiel from Puppet. This
Good
Puppet
job.
is very positive about these things.
Proud of you.
I'm very glad I have him.
Yes, I'm glad I have you.
Yes. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then another match that people won't shut the fuck up about is Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
I don't like either of them.
I thought you didn't mind Goldberg.
I don't mind Goldberg.
Yeah, he's cool.
Mostly because both of my friends who used to watch WWE, I don't know if they do anymore. Well, I know one of them doesn't anymore, but I don't know if the other one does or not. Like knew Goldberg, like when they were kids.
Knew him, like personally?
No, like know who he is.
Oh yeah, of course.
And like.
And
yeah.
what?
So I can pretty much talk to them about Goldberg, and that's what they'll recognize.
That's so. Well, yeah, because they haven't watched in a while, I assume.
Yeah.
If that's the earliest memory.
Yeah, I mean, when Ken stopped watching, it was right when John Cena like first debuted.
Really?
So it was like 2002.
he He just saw him and was like, I'm done.
I think so, yes.
Wow,
Comment if this was wrong, or message me.
That's funny. It's like, he didn't do anything. It had to have been a coincidence.
I mean, it was because of a lot of other reasons.
Sure.
I'm sure I haven't really talked to him about that, but yeah.
Where the fuck am I going? Okay. But yeah, so that match is happening, and
Yes.
everyone, just because the way the feud's been going, where
I'm
like
not a fan of this feud at all.
I think it's interesting because
They're both part-timers, so I don't like
yeah,
it at all.
that's people's main complaint, that like two guys who only wrestle part-time are going to be main eventing WrestleMania when
Yeah.
they have a whole roster full of really talented young guys who wrestle full like the entire year who
Yeah.
could do it instead, but like you just gotta take it for what it is, you know, like
Yeah.
they have their priorities, they gotta have the, because WrestleMania is where all the big stars come back and do
Yeah,
stuff,
definitely.
and like that's an important part of WrestleMania.
Totes.
And the thing is, like, as much as everyone loves Kevin Owens, when he was Universal Champion, like, he wasn't that strong a champion. Like, he was
a shit champion.
he was like a
Oh my
coward
God.
champion, and like, they didn't make him look very strong. And meanwhile, Goldberg friggin' beat Brock Lesnar in like a minute 30 seconds or whatever.
Yep.
Like that's a strong champion.
Yep.
And Universal Championship already had problems in the start when it first like debuted because no one
It's
liked
the-
how it looked.
Well, yeah, it's the fuggliest thing I've ever seen.
Right. So like having someone with that like resume and that
Acumen.
like acumen, yeah, like brings more to the champion. And here's the thing, like
Yeah.
most people say that okay. I talked to Chris and Nat about this. Chris and Nat, Dead End Old. Check out their channel. They do wrestling
They're
videos.
cool.
They're from Scotland, and I mentioned this to them, and
ask
they
them
agreed.
about the recent thing that happened in the news.
I don't think they care.
Yes,
Anyway,
they do.
they don't. They really don't.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I mentioned this to them that when was the last time people like Smarks or whatever or otherwise didn't think Brock Lesnar was going to win a match?
Yeah.
Like most times when he's in a match at WrestleMania, you're like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
like the last time that happened was against The Undertaker, and he won.
When was this?
WrestleMania 30 when he
I
beat the undefeated streak.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
a year
bullshit.
before we joined
Yes.
the fray. But
Well,
yeah, that was probably the last time people actually looked at the match and were like, yeah, he's probably not going to win, and he did. But this is a match where, and for the first time in like ages, people are saying that again. That's saying that like, oh, people have doubts as to whether Brock will win a match, which has not happened in freaking ages.
Well.
So that alone is like makes the feud interesting.
Yeah.
That Goldberg is like, and people don't like Goldberg because like he's not a very versatile wrestler, but like
I don't really care.
Yeah.
He's kind of old.
I think they've been waiting. They've been waiting to have this big brawling match that they could have had years ago to now. Like
Yeah.
both guys are in with the company, like they're not on bad terms with anybody, and they have the potential to have a really great match. I think
Well,
hopefully we'll get that.
I thought Goldberg and like someone had like beef in real life. Or
I
something.
mean, people have beef with them. Like it's hard to not have beef with somebody, but.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like, because when Goldberg and Brock had their first match at WrestleMania, it was bad because neither of them really cared because they were both leaving the company soon.
Yeah.
So like they didn't really try. They weren't trying.
Yeah.
But now hopefully they're going to be trying.
Yeah.
And then they have to make a big like WrestleMania worthy match, and I'm sure they can do that.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I think Brock will win. And people are really against the idea of a part-time wrestler being a world champion, but like if you look at it from a different perspective, like it can be a good thing because you don't. Chris kind of agreed with me in that like overexposure can hurt a champion because if you see them wrestle all the time.
That's
Like
boring
with
as
Kevin,
fuck.
yeah, like with Kevin Owens with the Universal Championship, you saw him like lose to people all the time, like to Roman Reigns mostly, and like that hurts the champion's like reputation. It hurts the belt.
It makes the belt not worthy.
Right, and so having someone who only shows up like at certain events to wrestle the championship
Yeah.
makes it feel more special.
Yeah.
And Brock's a legit guy who can bring like legitimacy to the championship.
Well, so is Goldberg.
Well, not so much because Goldberg is he's an older guy, more experienced guy, but like he doesn't have the same like resume that Brock has, like with
guess.
MMA and UFC and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I see where you.
Yeah.
I see that now. Yeah, that makes sense.
So and people like Brock Lesnar because he's a legit like fighter.
Yeah.
And he brings legitimacy to like the WWE. I'm just going in circles, man. I have no idea where I'm going. God. I know what I have to do. I just don't know how to get there.
This reminds me of a thing of something that happened. Sorry to go off on another little tangent.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
But in the local Nutcracker that I did for 10 fucking years.
Okay.
Like
I wonder where this is going.
It used to mean something to be cast in a certain role.
I gotcha.
Like, if you were like the two big main like core parts that girls would vie for and like practice for all year long was snow, if you could be a snowflake, or a flower.
Wow, how prestigious.
I know, right? I mean, they're treated as the two hardest core roles to dance.
Gotcha.
And so girls would like.
So if you're doing it, it means you're good.
Yeah, if you're in one of those, it used to mean that you were really good.
Right.
And I was a flower once.
That's something.
It's something.
One-time flower.
Yes, I was a one-time flower. But now, I mean, it still means something to be a snowflake. Like, they're not taking away the specialness of the snowflake.
The special snowflake.
Special snowflakes. But now, at least after I left, and even while I was still there, I think in the last 2 years that I was there, they had the flower core not on point anymore.
Okay.
So they were not doing any like fun shit. They were pretty much like, relegated, not necessarily relegated to the side, but it doesn't mean as much if it's not on point. Does that make sense?
Sure. They made it easier, basically.
They made it easier. And I don't like that idea because it used to mean something. Like, what the hell, you guys?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
So, that kind of reminds me of this.
Okay. I mean...
Sorry.
I get what you're coming from, where, like, you see, like, maybe they make something... Okay. When Kevin Owens was champion, he always won because of Chris Jericho.
Right.
Which made people, like, at least in like, a storyline, like, terms, think, like, oh, if he fought a guy, like, one-on-one, he wouldn't win. Which I think plays into the same, like, concept as what you just talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that having two, like, veteran guys go at it and, like, have Lesnar win it and be a part-timer still would be beneficial to him because, and the championship, because it would mean more to see the Universal Championship would mean more as a result.
Yeah, I feel that.
It would have more value. Yeah.
Okay.
And like Brock is a guy that it means something to beat. Like you beat him, it's still, and beating Goldberg after Goldberg beat him a bunch of times like would restore his like beast status.
Yeah.
And you could go back to being Brock Lesnar again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like Brock Lesnar because his whole thing is I am large and scary, and that doesn't do it for me. But I can understand why people want to see him do this because he does have legitimacy.
Yeah, he's a legit like fighter.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea where I'm going. So what we're gonna do is, I haven't finished the WWE talk, so I'm going to take a break for a second, figure out where the fuck I'm going, and then I'll finish this. We'll have one more episode, and we'll hopefully beat Dungeon.
Okay, cool.
Whoa, I'm tired.